feels weird doing it like this.
It feels gross and disgusting, like every other disgusting podcast that does it through stupid Discord. What losers!
Like we're doing something cheap and dirty and quick, like we both did yesterday on our main channels when we uploaded reactions to the direct,
and also my other podcast, which I do through Discord every single week.
I managed to film, edit, and upload my direct reaction on my YouTube channel in like an hour and a half before I went to therapy.
Yeah, I was completely blown away by how quickly you uploaded your video yesterday.
Thank you. I felt like RGT85 with how quick I was on it.
I think I was still recording when you uploaded it.
It was crazy. I edited that super quick. I didn't watch it back, so I was just assuming it was good. And it was. I actually watched it back while in the waiting room at the therapist office. I'm like, please, I don't want to go in stressed out. Please be good. And it was good.
Oh my God. I normally don't do stuff like that. I normally don't do reaction videos. Sometimes I do if something really interests me. But yesterday I was inspired by John and Dreamcast guy. They were both like, just stop putting so much effort in. And I was like, I know if I don't, I'll probably get the same amount of views, but it's like an integrity thing. And they're like, stop being stupid. Yeah. So then I just uploaded it, and the video is doing great. So, I mean,
I definitely do a mix on my channel. Like I have my videos I work really, really hard on, but then like I just said hard on, but with the directs, I always do a rush job, couple hour fast as I can reaction to it. And yeah, it's kind of have to, and I rationalize it in my head with like, yeah, this is cheap, quick, dirty content, but this is like the most exciting time to be a Nintendo fan, and as a Nintendo channel, like I need to talk about it, and there's no point spending 3 days on a highly edited, produced reaction to a direct, so it just kind of is what it has to be, just a quick, dirty little reaction. This, on the other hand, is our chance to create something kind of cool, because even though we're doing this cheap and dirty, I don't know about you, I assume with you, when you do like a 15-minute reaction YouTube video to a 25-minute direct, there's stuff that gets cut out. There's stuff that you want to say or you want to talk about, but you don't want to spend 5 minutes talking about Nier Automata coming to the Switch. You just kind of breeze past it.
Funny you say that. I actually did cut out Nier Automata. I noticed you didn't mention it. I was very upset because I was like, man, that's a Bob game too. What the heck? You're going to need to convince me that it's a Bob game.
What, do you not know what kind of game it is?
No,
it's like an action.
No, I didn't even know which one it was.
It's an action adventure hack and slash bullet hell with platforming aspects, some light RPG mechanics.
Did you say
there's no turn based. There's a little bit of platforming. Yeah, that game kind of has a little bit of. It kind of has a little bit of everything. Like 1 second, it will legitimately be like an action hack and slash, and the next it's just a straight bullet hell. Sometimes it's a side scroller, sometimes it's a top down. Most of the time, it's an open world exploration game, but it's weird and wacky. It's so fun. Anyway, we're way too ahead. Let's reel it back. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to episode 7, I want to say. Fun story. Bob and I just hung out for a whole weekend. We just recorded 2 episodes in person with bonus episodes with special guests in various locations here in my house.
There's so much more fun than what we're doing right now, but you'll have to wait.
I know, that's highly produced, but thing is, that was supposed to go up tomorrow, and a direct happened yesterday, so we saw an opportunity to make something quick and kind of fun and talk about the direct, since this is a Nontendo podcast channel. So we're going to quickly throw this together, and then next week you'll get that content. Thankfully, none of that was like time sensitive or time relevant. They were just fun conversations with people.
Right.
So let's dive into, before we start watching the direct though, we have to talk about the fact that we talked about the predictions of when it was going to be, and it was none of that. It was none of those.
Yeah, so that was interesting. So at first it was rumored that it was going to be the 15th, and then that got pushed, and other people were saying it was going to be the 29th, and people seemed very certain that it was going to be the 29th. And then we were hanging out at Too Many Games. We were with John, and you said, so I guess we were trying to plan our week, and we were trying to figure out what we were going to do when we were going to film the podcast, because a Nintendo Direct does mess up our whole schedules.
Yeah, we planned on the weekend. We said if this happens, if a Direct happens on the 29th, we will film immediately and do an emergency episode.
Yeah, so you were talking to John about it, and you were like, yeah, so I guess the 29th. And John was like, yeah, so like Tuesday. And the next day we were eating, me and you, and I said, all right, so there'll probably be a Direct around Wednesday. And you said, well, John said Tuesday the 29th. And I was like, well, the 29th isn't Tuesday. And you were like, oh, maybe John misspoke. And I was like, would he do that?
You kind of doxed him in your video by saying that, like, he knows.
He wants people to know that he's the guy.
I know, he does. So John, okay, so there's a lot of people online, right, that like to predict dates or say that they know or say that they have the answers, like all these people that leaked the 15th, the 29th, or whatever. Let me tell you, John always actually knows.
Yeah.
The thing is, he finds out through people that aren't supposed to tell him, and he's very respectful, and he won't leak that. He will just tell a lot of us internally.
Yeah, but he'll leave little breadcrumbs. He'll like allude to it in like a weird way where you like want to know more, but he can't tell you. He does that shit on purpose.
I will say though that we were at dinner, we were eating hot wings, and we were just talking in general, and he's like, "Yeah, so there'll be a Direct on Tuesday," and I was like, "Tuesday?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're gonna show Persona 5. Obviously, we'll see Mario and Rabbids." I'm like, "Wait, really? Persona?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Well, that stuff was obvious. The Persona and Mario was obvious.
It's Mario especially, but it's just the fact that like he legitimately knows, and I feel like he gives you the tidbits of the things that are obvious because there's plausible deniability.
Right.
But he knew. Like, he legitimately knew 100% all of that. Mm-hmm. So, listen to John and watch his videos, Spawnwave videos, very closely, because if John is saying, like, this will probably happen, it's because he knows it's going to happen.
Yeah. So we knew about Mario plus Rabbids because it leaked like a few days early anyway, and they leaked the release date and everything. Persona, we all kind of just assumed because it was already in the Xbox showcase coming to Game Pass and stuff.
That was a big thing with Persona. Like, everyone wanted it to come to Switch, but like it was only on PlayStation. It didn't make a ton of sense for it to just randomly come to Switch, but as soon as Xbox and PC was announced, it was like, okay, it's coming.
There's a lot of people who were upset that it left PlayStation. I guess some like really diehard PlayStation people.
Yeah, I don't blame them, honestly. I mean, it's one of those like Persona started as like a small cult thing. I feel like it was big, but it's also felt very culty and very like a Persona fan will see another Persona fan and give them a fist bump and like, you like Persona, and now it's blown up and it's uber popular. Like even Persona 4 Golden and Persona 4. It still felt niche in a way a little bit. But then with Persona 5, it was like mega mainstream. So now that it's on everything, it kind of feels like Persona fans have lost a little bit of that. But I think it's for the best that a lot of people get to play this game.
It came out in September of 2016, Persona 5. Mm-hmm. So I think it's been enough time. I think the exclusivity has been enough. I think we can let other people play it who haven't gotten a chance to play it. Like myself.
I think it's interesting that you mentioned in your video burdened by choice because, it's on Game Pass for free. It's on PC, which means we can get it on our Steam Decks. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to be excited for the Switch port because I've waited so long for it.
Right.
But I already knew as soon as they said PC, I was like, oh, I'm excited. I'm going to play that portably on my Steam Deck. So then I had to like still be excited that I have another option of doing it on Switch. Yeah, I don't know which one I'm going to get it on yet.
We had a whole podcast about how the Steam Deck kind of changed the way we think about buying games. And we went into the Steam Deck thinking there's no way it's going to, take over the Switch. But it's taken over the Switch in our lives. It
has.
It's not going to be a mainstream console, but I'm sitting here like, I'd rather just buy it on that because then I have the option to take it with me if I want to. I'm always going to play it on my desk. anyway. I play my Switch at my desk docked. So this gives me a higher resolution and more options. The cloud saves are going to be better. I'm going to be able to take it with me at a higher resolution if I want to. The only problem is I got this big bulky Steam Deck with me if I want to do that.
Here's what I'm really struggling with, and I hate to say it, but we've had the Switch now for 5 years, and I've persevered with like the low resolution, the jagged edges, even looking at the Sonic Frontiers trailer and seeing all the assets clip in and out, and like the just insane pop in. It's so hard to sit there looking at it and think to yourself, I could just get this on Steam Deck. It's the kind of thing where like, it doesn't replace the Switch, and people aren't going out buying a Steam Deck instead of the Switch, but once you have the Steam Deck, it's really hard to justify not spending money on Steam rather than the eShop.
I will say, I promise you, Sonic Frontiers is going to have weird pop-in on all platforms. I promise you that whatever they showed in that trailer was their best that they had.
Okay, all right. I want to go through the direct from start to finish, and we're bouncing everywhere. The last thing I wanted to say or talk about before we got straight into just talking about the whole thing is the fact that it was a partner mini direct and not a full direct. What are your thoughts on that at this E3 summertime of year?
So I talked about this in my video. This happened once before, and I think... what I heard, which makes a lot of sense, I think this is just somebody speculating, but they probably had plans to have some big first-party announcements, and they weren't ready for it. So they're contractually obligated with these third parties to promote the products in a direct. So they probably just decided, forget it, we're just going to fulfill our contractual obligation and do a partner direct and just have partners, because we're not ready for our own stuff yet.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like while they didn't show up with anything of their own, it was a really solid direct. Like, it didn't feel like something that was like, I guess we have to throw this together. I guess we have to announce Persona 5. I really liked it. I really liked it.
There was a lot of good stuff, but I've been learning that maybe I just don't play enough games. Because there was a lot of stuff that I should be excited about that I'm just not.
Like Nier Automata.
But name one new game besides Mario plus Rabbids.
I don't want to. I refuse to.
They're all ports from other systems.
Yes. It was a lot of ports.
If you love trains,
there was trains.
This was the direct for you.
There was a couple games that were new. There was Monkey Island, which is coming as a Time Switch exclusive, and you're making me get ahead of myself to prove a point. But there was also another exclusive. There was the black and white game that was exclusive, Little Foxes. And then there was another game at the very start that was supposed to be either an exclusive or a timed exclusive. So there was some new things.
The Annapurna game, yeah. There
was some new things. Okay, but I think that they may have had a couple first-party things to show, but at the point where that would make it a full direct and they knew that it wasn't enough, they probably just were like, we'll hold off on our stuff. Let's focus on the partner stuff and if they just have a full partner.
If they just had 2 first-party games that were like big deals, this would have been a friggin' blockbuster direct, you know?
Can I say, too, they are being very loose and goosey with the word mini. Like, I feel like they are really trying to set expectations, because it was 25 minutes long, which is not small.
Yeah, and that's a normal direct size. I mean, normally they're like 45 minutes, right? Or no, they've had them that are like
for
30.
A big one.
Yeah.
A mini to me is sub 10 minutes. And they've gone out and they've said, it's a partner direct, guys. No first party stuff. It's 25 minutes, but let's go ahead and call it a mini, because I just need you guys to know we are not showing up for this one. Do not expect anything.
I think that's another reason why they knew. I think that's another evidence that they took stuff out. That they had stuff they already had and they took it out, because why would they call a 25-minute direct a mini? They probably had some big stuff there that was going to make this thing a blockbuster one. They were like, you know what? Forget it. We got to hold this for a little bit longer.
I could see that. I don't think it was a contract thing. I think we always get an E3 direct, a summertime
But
direct.
that's why, because we always get it. So when they have new games coming out, they're like, yeah, we will show this. We will promote this in our direct. And then they're like, shit, we're not ready for this.
I don't think
we still have to promote their thing.
Like, I'll say one thing in my favor here. You know how I know the guy that runs the marketing at Nintendo of America?
Ask him.
He actually messaged me the day before the direct, and he said, enjoy tomorrow. So I think they were very confident I honestly feel like they were very confident in the direct.
I think he knew that you wanted Persona.
He knew I wanted Persona. I think he knew I like Monkey Island. And I think he just knew in general that I think he was just confident in the direct. And then when I posted my clip of Monkey Island, when I posted it on Twitter, be freaking out and saying that was the best direct ever, he immediately texted me with like captions saying the best direct ever with a smiley face. And I was like, I know. Well, that was a little bit of a stretch, to be fair, but it was really good. Right.
Do you remember? I don't remember what. I think it was the year that Paper Mario came out. Did they do a partner direct then also? Because they just decided they didn't put Paper Mario in a direct. They just put it on. They just put the trailer on Twitter. They were like, "Oh, by the way, here's Paper Mario."
Yeah, you mentioned that in your video too, and that's probably one other thing we can touch on. That this wasn't a live premiere. This was a video.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So you mentioned
that was a little interesting for you, wasn't it?
Yes, and I'll talk about that. But you mentioned that that could mean they might just start dropping trailers like with Paper Mario or whatever they've done in the past, where they don't really care so much about a live.
I think it's not so much that they posted this without a live. I think it's that they did a direct. They did 2 directs. They did the Xenoblade direct, and then they did this. I don't know if there's going to be a first-party direct. I think they might just drop trailers when they're ready.
I think we need a first-party direct right now, but I mean, just dropping a bunch of trailers works. You are right though that the VOD was weird for me because I was live. I was trying to live stream the thing
on YouTube, which is
live on YouTube. 25,000 people watching.
I saw. I typed in chat and I was like, "What a waste." The chat was freaking.
The chat was insane. I will say that last time we streamed a full direct, we did hit 30,000, but still, I know crazy amounts of people for those. That's why I do them on YouTube because it's like the hub for it.
Was that at 9 in the morning the last time when you did 30,000? It was probably at a better time.
It might have been at a better time. But you actually messaged me too and pointed out that when you typed in Nintendo Direct during when I was live, I was the top thing on the platform for a live stream because Nintendo wasn't doing one. So and
I did that in an incognito window too, so that there was no influence. It was you and John. Spawnwave was right underneath you, but he wasn't live.
Now that I think about it, Nintendo, if you want to move to not doing them live, I will always take that top spot. I would gladly take it. But it was interesting because usually you do the premiere and everyone's watching it with you. It's live. But because it was a VOD, immediately as I started watching it, people started spamming Persona 5 at the end, Persona 5 at the end, because they just skipped straight to the end.
That's what I did. I mean, when it posted, I was just scrolling around and it ruined the direct for me.
I was really tempted, but I knew if I started scrolling, you wouldn't get the full effect because there's something different of like sitting there and watching it live and getting hit with the announcements one by one and taking them in and registering them as to going like in 5 seconds, this is everything that's in it. Oh, we're missing this, this, and this. Oh, okay, this one sucked. Right, when you actually get hit and you experience the trailers and you're watching something like the little foxes, you're like, okay, all right, this is interesting. But let's actually get into it finally. Although before we do you want to mention the new exciting news? I think he does. I think he does.
We got shirts. Look at this one. We got
shirts.
Oh my God, we got baseball tees. No, if you love baseball, too bad. We got T-shirts that are baseball tees, and we also have regular tees if you don't like baseball. But this is look how pretty. It's a tri-blend. It's very soft. This really is a unisex one for all of the sexes. And it's got the Nontendo logo on it. So if you want a nice shirt to hug your body, we made you some shirts. I don't have the...
made them for the weekend, for the Too Many Games weekend we were just at. Bob and I were wearing the shirts through the weekend. A lot of people that came out to meet us grabbed a lot of the shirts. Everyone said they were super nice quality, super soft. There's the red one with the white little pocket text. That's my favorite. Actually, I really like the baseball one too. I'll say that usually I don't like wearing red, but Bob's picked this really. I think it's just Nintendo red.
It might not look
really
good on
nice
camera. It's not that red. It's like a soft red. It's a soft,
almost like heather gray and red blend, and it's just really nice.
I'm gonna switch cameras on the OBS capture here. That's a much better look right there, baby. It's got it's got the heathering, so it's like textured. It's very nice, and the baseball tee's the same. It's got the same sort of like heathering situation. It's very nice. These are very nice shirts. We did a good job here.
We did plug this already in one of the episodes we shot because we didn't expect to have to slot this in. So I've said this already, and you'll hear it again next week. But Bob designed the logo, and now he's designed these shirts himself, and he made sure that they were like super good quality. We did not skip out on these. We paid for them. So you're going to like them a lot. And the other thing I want to mention, because this show is not sponsored yet, even though there was multiple conversations with our network about being sponsored by now. If you want to support the show, the only way we're really making income right now is via Patreon. So if you want to subscribe to the Patreon for $5 a month, a low price of $5 a month, you will get 4 bonus episodes every single week. If you subscribe today, there is 7 or 8 bonus episodes and some behind the scenes waiting for you day one. The content just keeps growing and growing and growing. So please support us over there. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
I've had this egg on my desk that I've been playing with for like 3 days. This is one of those, it's Gelato Peak. They're doing like a Yoshi thing. This is a Yoshi egg. Oh. It's like a little metal Yoshi egg. And inside is a little Yoshi hand towel. It's very cute.
Oh, what do you use that for at the side of your desk?
So, you're trying to implicating something.
I'm asking. What would you need a little hand towel for?
I got a lot of towels here for some reason.
Busy boy. All right, so we've got loaded up the Direct. We're using Watch Together so that we can watch the same thing and pause it.
It's like we're in a long-distance relationship.
I know. This is what couples do when they want to watch YouTube together when they haven't seen each other for a while. To be fair, it's been a few days, and I do miss you. So
It's true.
Whoa! I'm sorry. That is very loud. I will turn it down.
I guess I could lower it,
right? Okay. I'll probably just turn the sound off a little bit. Do I adjust your volume when I adjust it?
I just changed it, so no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh my God, Monster Hunter is so loud.
So they started. Can I talk? Are you good?
You're good. You're great.
They started with something I'm very excited for. Granted, we've already seen a lot of this. It didn't really tell us too much that we didn't already know, but it made sense because Monster Hunter Sunbreak comes out in a couple of days. Actually, tomorrow, I think, as I record this. I am super stoked for this. If you don't know, if you haven't played Monster Hunter Rise, this is a $40 massive expansion. It's almost like a sequel. Some people have asked, why not just make a new game at this point? But if you've played Monster Hunter, it actually makes a lot of sense. Starting again isn't super fun because you have to grind to get armor sets. You get really attached to your character and your pets, your Palico and your Doggo. I forget what the Doggo is called. So adding in a whole extra game into this just means you can continue where you left off. You can keep collecting new armor sets, adding to what you have, taking those new badass weapons and armors into the previous monster hunts and being super crazy in those. And it's all on like a new place, a new island, a new town, a new area to explore. So I am honestly super stoked. I've been playing Monster Hunter Rise again, getting ready and geared up for it. Have you played Monster Hunter at all?
I don't blame you for asking me like that. I did play Monster Hunter Rise, and I liked what I played. I played a decent amount of it. I think I only liked it because I liked playing with my friends. And
that's fair. That's fair. It's fun.
You don't level up like the same when you're playing with your friends, right? Like you get new armor and stuff, but I think you have to replay the missions by yourself.
No.
Well, then
so how it works is
because I only played with my friends, and then I thought like
fine.
I was going to be screwed later.
Not that I'm aware of.
Like, don't you only beat the missions when you're playing? Like, don't you have to be hosting in order to beat the story on your own side?
I don't know what would happen if you were to join a friends match and play in a friends match. I don't know if you would complete or get the check mark for that yourself. I assume you would, but you would definitely get all the rewards from it. The only thing that changes when you play with friends
and stuff.
Yeah, then you're fine. The only thing that changes when you play with your friends is like if you play solo, the monster will be as hard as the monster is. But if you add someone in, the monster becomes like a 0.5 or 2 times harder to compensate for the fact you have 2 people wailing on it.
Right.
But the game is built for playing with friends. So if that's how you enjoy it, you can play through the game with friends just fine. There's actually the online missions and the solo player missions. They're separate and they have separate stories as well. So
I didn't know that.
I don't see any reason why you wouldn't get the checkmark for playing online if you're joining friends games.
Well, yeah, I was exclusively playing with friends. I might have been hosting. I don't even know. I don't even remember. But it made me not want to play by myself. So I played like 10 hours with people. And it. I mean, I played Monster Hunter for the first time on the 3DS because I got the cool Monster Hunter 3DS and it came with it. And I played it and I was like, I don't know. I'm not really. This game's not. I'm not liking the mechanics because I'm sluggish or whatever. And then for whatever reason, I just kept playing it, and I sucked like a bunch of hours into it. But every time I played it, I was like, this game sucks. But it kept sucking me in. And then I played Monster Hunter World, and I played it, and I was like, this game sucks. I don't like this game. I don't like how it takes so long to swing the friggin' weapon or whatever. And then when I was done playing it, I kept thinking about it. And then I wanted to play it again.
That's how
and then I was like,
you.
this game sucks. And then I would stop playing it, and then I would keep thinking about it, and then I'd want to play it again. And Monster Hunter Rise did the same thing, except I liked it a lot more because I was playing with my friends.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack there. One, the gameplay loop in Monster Hunter is one of the best. It's just super fun, and it is addictive. I agree that other Monster Hunter games are super sluggish. I didn't like them either. Even Monster Hunter World I found really sluggish. The wire bugs and the speed of Rise is finally at a point where I really enjoy playing it. I didn't think I would ever touch it solo player, but I ended up loving it so much. I put like 60 hours into the game. I completed everything in solo player, and now I'm doing the online because the online gets to higher ranks, and I'm trying to work through those.
It depends on what weapons you use, like what class you have, and it's addicting trying to get all of the new armor sets and stuff. Like you'll find an armor that you like, and you're like, I want that one, so you want to grind. I know. That. So you have to like kill the same thing a bunch, and then hope you get the right loot drop for it. Right. But I always use the twin swords because they're like crazy fast. I think I use that.
So that helps with the speed if you don't like the more sluggish.
Yeah, and then I did that on, I think it was World or the 3DS one, and people are like, yeah, you can't use those. Those are bad. That's why you don't like the game. Something like that.
They're not bad. They're easy. It's not super complex, but it's
I
fun.
picked them because they're fast, because I didn't like how sluggish the combat was. I will say I love them. Way too many buttons that do way too many things. The screen in the game has all of this crap around it, but once you figure out the ones that are important, it could be fun.
Almost every time I pick the game up, whether it's been a day or a month, I have to relearn what all the buttons do. But
so if I want to play Sunbreak, do I have to beat a significant portion of Rise?
I have no idea. I've never thought about that. I don't know. I can't answer that question. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you'd have to. Because it's add-on for that game. I'm sure you'd have to get to a certain point.
I'm going to ask my Monster Hunter Sherpa.
Do that. I don't know what or who that is. All right. So now that we're through that, we're officially, I guess, started with the Direct, because they even threw the Direct logo back up again.
That was the longest game they spent the most time on, was Monster Hunter Sunbreak.
It's coming out in like a day, so I get it. I get it. This, for me, was really exciting. I know you didn't even mention it in your video.
I cut a part out. I did talk about it, but I cut it out because I didn't add anything to the conversation.
Believe me, I've made enough direct reaction videos to know exactly what happened. You just didn't have anything to say, so you just axed it.
Right.
I I have a way of doing the videos now where if something is important and I know people are going to yell at me if it gets cut, I just make sure I make a joke or something, a throwaway comment, just so it's acknowledged.
That's
Otherwise, all the comments did you get a lot of comments like Near Automata? What the heck?
I didn't even look at the comments. My new thing now is when people, I don't get mad when people are like, this guy's got some bags under his eyes. I don't give a shit about that. I get mad when people say that I'm wrong about something that I never even said in the video. So I just get aggravated reading comments now for some dumb stuff. So I usually just try to avoid it.
Maybe you wouldn't have bags under your eyes if you stopped filming your videos at 4 a.m.
Hey, I filmed this one at like 8 a.m., okay?
That's true. That's a different kind of tired. Nier Automata, as I tried to explain to Bob at the start of this, is one of my favorite games, actually. It's not in like the top 10 or anything. I have played a lot of games, but it's up there with games that I will always list in my favorites. The story is really cool. It's really stylish. I love the character of 2B. Because she is like the main waifu. Like I think she is like the most waifu you could have.
She's like the cosplay like default.
Yeah. But she rocks it. And I love the character. I am a massive hack and slash fan, as I've said multiple times in my life and on this podcast. And this is a hack and slash game to its core. But on top of that, as you can see in the gameplay, it's also just bananas crazy. Everything from changing the camera view while you play to turning into a full bullet hell and then being a hack and slash during a bullet hell. It's just so much fun. And you don't need to know anything about the series or the franchise to dive into this one. They've even added exclusive Switch content, which I really appreciate. And one thing I want to add is there's a physical for it, and the box art is sick. It's probably my favorite box art.
Tweet about it.
Apparently, it's reversible. So you have the box art that was probably original, and then the one I tweeted is the reversible box art, and it's fantastic looking. Like, it's just one of the nicest looking box arts.
So this is when I clicked into your stream to see what was going on, and you at first were confused which game this was, if it was a new game or if it was obviously I have no idea. I've never played a Nier game before.
The reason why I was confused is because there are a lot of Nier games, everything from main titles to spin-offs to mobile games. I even did a sponsor for a Nier game recently. And I know Nier Automata is the one that I played back on PlayStation 4, but then it said the end of Your Heart edition, and I've never heard the words the end of Your Heart. So I was asking chat, like, what is this? Is it a prequel, a sequel? Is it something different? And they're like, no, that's just what they called this edition. So I was like, okay, sick. Then that's what I want. There's a lot of Nier stuff, in my opinion, from what I've looked at. This is the best one. This is the game. I don't know if they've even made one like this since then. I'm not into the whole lore or the franchise or the series.
They didn't make a second
this game.
Nier Automata. I always thought it was Nier Automata until this trailer, and then I was like, what? I've been saying it wrong this whole time?
I say Nier Automata. Is that not right?
No, you're right. I think you're saying it right.
I googled Nier Automata sequel, and the first thing that came up said Nier creator claims the series is finished. So I don't know.
So it's literally just this one game? I thought there was other games. Oh, maybe
there are other games, but they're different, and they're spin-offs and they're mobile stuff. I don't.
Oh, so it's Nier Automata or Automata, and then some other jargon for like a spin-off game, or are they just called Nier something else? Like, what is there an Automata series of games is what I'm asking.
I claim no ownership to the fandom of these series, so I apologize if I am butchering this. So there was a game called Nier on the 360, which looks nothing like this game, and I don't know what it's about. I did hear that it was good, but it's completely separate. Then I guess a sequel to that is Nier Automata. So I guess it's a sequel, but very different. There's a mobile game, Nier Reincarnation, which is, I think, the thing I did a sponsor for. And I think that's it. So this is really the main game, I would say, to play. Although I'm sure there will be diehard original Nier fans that'll yell at us. But again, I don't have any idea. I just played that one game.
Absolutely nothing like the original.
Yeah. Different character and everything.
Wow. And this is made by Platinum.
Okay. Near Automata?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense because Platinum makes some of my favorite hack and slash games.
There you go.
Okay, let's keep going because we are taking forever. All right, so this was, I think, the first like timed exclusive. I don't think it's a full exclusive.
This looked interesting to me. I was trying to figure out who the developer was because it seems like not a new thing. It seems like somebody seasoned made this game. And I think it was the developer of Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Oh, that like music-based rhythm game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that game was really fun. I love the style of this game.
Looks like a PS1 game.
Yeah. Well, it does at parts. It looks like a Switch game at some parts, and then it goes like PS1-y at other parts, which I assume is all just part of like dimension bending or whatever surrealism they have. Although you are right, even this, while it is like a more modern art style, looks a lot like Resident Evil 1.
Yeah, I'm into this. It also kind of reminds me of that game, I think 13, that because of in some parts there's like a cool cell shaded look. And the shooting and whatnot.
Fun fact, there is a 13 remake still coming out for Switch at some point, and they just
I thought they released that.
That's still not out, I'm pretty sure. Wow. Never happened. So Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. Launching first on Switch, so it's a timed exclusive.
Right.
So that's cool. Oh, how do you?
We're on my game. The one this one was for Bob. That guy that you said texted you also texted me and said you're gonna love this direct coming out tomorrow.
Did you? We talked about this. You did like Bomberman R, didn't you?
No.
No, you didn't.
I was
okay,
hyping
you didn't.
it up. I was hyping it up, and I tried to like it, and I kind of liked it, but it really wasn't a $60 game. That was a $20 game at best. And I do like what they did with Bomberman R after the fact. They added all those cool outfits and stuff, so you could play as like a Venom Snake and like the Castlevania people and stuff. And I actually like, there's Stadia integration, believe it or not. There's like a battle royale mode, and you can, if you stream it on YouTube, you can just have your whole YouTube chat play with you and stuff. It's like, they have really cool ideas that came out way after Bomberman R came out. This is Super Bomberman R2, and it looks exactly the same. The only difference that they mention here is that there's a new mode that is 15 players versus 1 player. It's an asymmetrical mode. And that's literally the only difference so far that we know about.
I was baffled by this announcement because
me too.
I know Bomberman R was a launch game, so one of the 7. Yeah. So sure, by default, it probably made better sales than it would have done. But a sequel, like I'm sure it had people that liked it, but it wasn't universally liked or even enjoyed by many people.
I would be surprised that it did enough sales to warrant a second one. I would be surprised.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And like, my biggest complaint with the original game was the visuals. I thought it was very muted and dull. It didn't look like a Bomberman game. It didn't look very fun. It was ugly. And it doesn't seem like they've changed that at all. It looks like they've used the exact same assets. And as you said, that all they said was new. It was one new mode.
Yeah.
I do like when they throw, at some point in this trailer, they throw to the retro mode, and it looks like original Bomberman. That I'm down for.
I didn't even see that part.
Could you make maps in the first one, or is that new?
I don't remember.
Okay, I think that might be new, that you can make your own maps. This is kind of like original looking. I think this is what I was talking about, like right here.
Oh, that looks kind of cool, but still, it's like that's like not enough. I think the animation and the design is so cool with this game, and then once you get to the gameplay, it's like weird. It's like that. Like they have such a cool design philosophy, and then they go into the gameplay, and it's like just bland and stupid. They should have just animated the whole game like they did the little cutscenes.
I know, it's the weirdest thing to get a sequel, and I feel like you could just play the original fine.
Yeah, just add modes. But then, I mean, no, just make a whole new game. Don't call it Bomberman R. It's Konami. They're trying to make a quick buck. They are checked out of video games. They don't care anymore.
With this next one, you were completely right in your video. Out of all the Mega Man games, all the styles that they've done, the Battle Network ones are by far my least favorite, which is what you said too. Because as you said, I don't want to paraphrase you, but it took everything out of what made a Bomberman game fun.
Yeah.
And made it all like what, turn-based?
Yeah, this was Battle Network came out at a time when everybody was trying to rip off Pokemon. So they decided to take Mega Man and try to turn it into a Pokemon game. And some people really love these games, but I think there's these
like
games.
50 of them.
I think they love these games because their parents were like, "Oh, you like Mega Man? Here's a new Mega Man game," and then they kind of just had to play it, and then they decided to then they were like kind of sucked into the franchise.
Maybe. I don't want to poop on it too much because it seems like they have a very big fan base, and there is like 50 games. So clearly,
I'm sure for a turn-based game, it's probably very good. I
like the art style a lot.
Have you noticed anything weird about the pixel art?
I didn't. No.
There's a weird filter. They don't show it in the direct for some reason, but there's a filter mode that like makes all of the pixels like a weird blob. And it's on. You can see it right there on him. He looks disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
The whole trailer has the filter on for some reason. You could turn the filter off so it's the clean pixel look. But this is the way that blob is the way the game was originally intended to be seen. But like it doesn't. I'd rather have scan lines than something disgusting looking like this. But again, you can turn it off. Style.
Yeah,
well, yeah, it's a Game Boy Advance game.
I don't hate it, but I get what you are saying.
I think that last shot had the clean pixel look.
I don't know what to say about this next thing.
All right, so I got this confused with Pac-Man 2. Do you remember Pac-Man 2?
I am not versed in my Pac-Man action-adventure games at all.
So one of those things where I had a Sega Genesis, my parents got me Miss Pac-Man, so I was all into Pac-Man, but only Miss Pac-Man, because they released all these other Pac-Man games that just were not Pac-Man. And Pac-Man 2 is like a weird like point and click thing, so I thought that's what this was, but it's not. On the PlayStation 1, they tried to make a Pac-Man platformer, and I thought it wasn't received well. It apparently got pretty good reviews. So I think Pac-Man World might have some people really excited about it. This is a full remake of that PlayStation 1 game. Yeah.
I mean, it actually does look pretty good. I mean, yeah. We see some side-scrolling stuff, some platforming, a little bit of like racing. I mean, it doesn't look not fun. I don't really know what to say.
It looks
it's
like
one
a
of them
weird
games
hodgepodge of a game with Pac-Man as the guy.
Almost near Automata, but with Pac-Man.
So I got this game confused with a different game. I was a little more harsh on it in my video than I should have been, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Yo, have you seen the collector's edition? It's sick. There's this big like I think it's Pac-Man Noir mech. You get like this big black mech robot Pac-Man, and then the actual Pac-Man and some ghosts around it. It looks freaking awesome.
Man, they're going hard with this, huh? It looks like they really did try with the. I mean, I can't point any flaws in it. It's just one of them things. It's like, why was it done? But it looks like it was done well.
Yeah. No, it looks. This actually, I'm willing to give it a shot as long as it's not like. If it's a full $60 game, I don't know about that, but it'll probably
be 40. That's a 40.
It's a 40 at most.
Then there was this cutesy little game. We should probably try blasting through a few things because, I mean, I could talk about this.
One of these characters is for sure dying in the game. It's gonna be sad.
Don't tell me that. No. And if it's the little one, I'm gonna throw up. That's horrible.
It looks like that's who you play as is the little one.
I think you do both because they said you could do co-op. Oh, so okay. I think it might be like a brothers situation where maybe trailer, if you're playing alone.
The camera seems to be following the dog.
It seems to be following kind of both of them.
Okay.
I think it might be like a brother situation where you control both on your own and then co-op you take one each. Mm-hmm. I love that little animation there too. That's so adorable.
Yeah, this is a well-designed game.
Yeah, very much so. And that's a Switch exclusive, I believe. Yep. Console exclusive.
Yep.
So does that mean it's coming to PC?
Yeah, it's a console exclusive, so probably.
This you're gonna have to tell me to shut up on because I could talk about this for way too long.
Shut the fuck up.
Moving on. No, I need to a little bit. So I don't really know where to even begin. This was for me the most hyped moment. It was our first look at the new Monkey Island game. There was rumors about this, mostly because the guy that makes the game, Ron, has been tweeting about it for a few weeks that a new one is coming. I am a massive fan of Monkey Island. I've played all 5 games, and if there's more than that, I'm going to look dumb. They are some of my favorites of all time. So they started as MS-DOS point and clicks. They carried on as PC games for 3 and 4. Then for 5th, they kind of did like a Telltale Games thing. I think it was Telltale Games. So it was still a point and click, but done like the Monkey Island, the Walking Dead game. So it was like 3D models and everything. This has gone way back to the start. It's like a reimagining, but a brand new game in a whole new art style. They've got the original voice actors back, including Guybrush's voice. I really can't tell you how excited I am. These games are so much fun. They are so well written. They are hilarious. The art style has always been fantastic. I will say the art style always changes. Every game has had a different art style since the first one. This is not my favorite one. But it might
I saw a
grow
lot of
on
people
me.
crapping on the art style. I have no allegiance to Monkey Island. I didn't even know there were that many Monkey Island games. I thought there were 2 at most. I think this art style looks great. I don't know if it's a fit for Monkey Island because I don't know Monkey Island that much, but this got a lot of crap. People were saying it's ugly. I don't think it's ugly. I think it's nice. I just, again, don't know if it fits Monkey Island because I haven't played Monkey Island.
I think it fits. It fits. It's most reminiscent of Monkey Island 3, I would say, because it's that 2D cartoonish style. It's just like Guybrush looks like he has a penis nose. It's just not my favorite, but it doesn't matter. I'm still going to enjoy it. I'm still going to have a ton of fun. What I liked about like the third art style was it was very clearly hand-drawn and gorgeous. This... it's still hand-drawn, but it's very like blocky and isometric-y and shapy. Kind of hard to explain, but like I'm loving the throwback to a lot of characters. Stan is locked behind bars here, probably for being a shoddy salesman that he is. The voodoo lady is back. I don't know who this lady is, but anyway, I'm gonna shut up. I'm very excited. I'll probably stream it. I love the game. Amazing.
How do you think it's gonna play on Switch? Because it's normally a point and click, right?
Yeah, but they've merged these games to like Xbox 360. They had the games on there. They did remakes of them, where you could switch between the 2 visual styles of the MS-DOS and the new one. Amazing. And it's fine. You just like use the thumbstick to look around and click on things. It's really not that bad.
Okay.
Also, they'll probably utilize the touchscreen, I would imagine.
True. I mean, if you play portable.
Fantastic music too, and these are tried and true point and clicks. I'm talking like walking around the entire game, picking up items, trying to use a rubber chicken on everything you find to see if it unlocks the next part of the game. They can get really tricky.
And a timed exclusive on the Switch, which is very interesting. And this is the first we've seen of this new Monkey Island at all, other than like a title screen tease, right?
Yeah.
This was one of the biggest deals of the whole Direct.
For me, it was. I mean, it's my two worlds colliding.
This is the most news we've gotten. This is like one of the biggest drops of the whole Direct. Everything else we knew about already, kind of.
That's why I was screaming, but it's very, very niche. Very niche. And I acknowledge that. Okay, so if E was here right now, he'd be telling us 10 minutes, and we are not even halfway through this. So
all right, sounds good.
All right.
Let's
Mario
plow
and
right
Rabbids.
over Mario plus Rabbids. Don't have to talk about it at all. You can just skip right to the end. I don't give a shit.
Not much. There isn't much to say. We'll summarize it with Bob hates it, doesn't like it.
Yep.
I loved the first Mario and Rabbids. So did Kim. And I'm very excited for this new one. It looks like they've changed up the gameplay. It looks like they've gone away from turn-based, but like not. I can't really tell what's going on with it.
It looks the same. It's freaking Ubisoft. They just took the first one, Control-C and Control-V, and then they friggin' put some hoods on the characters, and they added the freaking sparks, whatever they're called.
It does look pretty different. One thing I will say is these games they did really try on, in my opinion. There were tons of worlds, hundreds of challenges. The animations was like Pixar level Mario movie, and there was like a ton of them. You could probably cut out like an hour worth of a Mario movie from the first game. So that's a highlight in itself for me. It has some of the coolest bosses I've played in a Mario game, but we'll move on because we're out of time and Bob hates it.
I need to find some stuff that I like. I'm just shitting on everything all the time.
It's fine. You hate everything. That's your thing. Skipping this at least saves us a lot of
time. He's got 2 guns now.
All right, now there will be actually a lot of skipping. He does have 2 guns because it looks like there's this mobile game ported to the Switch. It does look cute, but I'm not interested at all. Thoughts, right. Bob?
No.
For audio listeners, we should probably say the name of every game or this one specifically.
Little Noah.
So, Little Noah, thank you.
It looks. It looks kind of cool. I like the 2D stuff, but it looks. I'm never gonna play it. Trains,
it's like a side-scrolling hack and
Epic
slash.
Games is making a train game. It's got what looks like freaking Unreal Engine ray tracing and stuff. It's freaking Roller Coaster Tycoon, but with trains, and there's a whole lot of trains in it.
Yeah, this does look really fun actually for a train game. I might even play it. I'm worried about how it's gonna bog down the Switch with so many trains.
Yeah, because it looks like they rendered the environment like really well. So like if you do have a lot of tracks and trains, it might actually bog down the Switch a lot.
It reminds me of that game Cluster Truck that I reviewed. I don't know if you've seen that game, but
yes.
It's almost like
I played that game.
It's like Snake but with a truck. And the better you are and the more like trucks you're building this massive snake, the game starts to actually I might be getting Cluster Truck confused with something else.
Cluster Truck is a platform where you jump between the trucks.
Right.
Yeah.
That is a really fun game.
But that does bog down the Switch a lot.
Yes, but there was another game with trucks that was like Snake, and then the more you like circled yourself, the more longer your truck got, and if you made it too big, the game just chugged and eventually like froze and then crashed. Yeah. So worried about that, but okay, let's not talk about the train game longer than we talked about Mario and Rabbids. There's a comic book game that you play the comic book and you can erase parts of it and add things, draw things. Actually, fun fact, I had an idea for a video game I wanted to make, and it wasn't really like this, but a lot of the concepts were there with like adding and changing and removing things on the fly, like how this game does. So I'm definitely interested. I'm going to play it.
This looks similar to the Plucky Squire, which was in the Xbox showcase. That was designed by one of the Pokemon designers. But this is obviously like more indie than that.
Yeah, I think it looks really cute. I like a lot of the concepts. Sonic Frontiers.
So, I mean, I'm a Sonic fan. I'm down to play this game. I'm very worried about it. It doesn't look like... I mean, this quelled a little bit of my fears, but it also, drew some new problems. Like, there is some wacky pop-in. I'm still not convinced that this like Unreal asset looking world is going to be like fully fleshed out. The combat does kind of look cool. They did a good job in this trailer of like angling the camera so that you don't see like the vast nothingness in the world. And they did a good job of making the combat look fun. But they also added these little zones that you can go into, because the guy who made the game was like, we call this an open zone game, not an open world game. And we're all like, what the hell does that mean? And now we know that there are other zones you can go to. So it looks like this Unreal Engine looking world is like the hub world. And then there's little zones you can go to that are like a more traditional Sonic game. So I'm happy that there's more to the game than just this Unreal Engine looking world. It looks like there's a Green Hill Zone type of world. It looks like there's like a highway world that looks pretty fun. I'm still not convinced this is going to be like a good 3D Sonic game, but I am definitely interested and want to give it a shot.
I agree with everything you said. Don't really have much to add. I agree with all of it. The only thing I'll say is I find it interesting that they're trying to like mimic like the Breath of the Wild, obviously, like world. I don't know Like Nintendo, for all of their flaws, for everything they get wrong, for how behind they are on the curb, whatever they did to create the world of Breath of the Wild, they nailed. Because it's a massive open world environment that is still one of the best looking games on Switch. It's gorgeous. They did a great job. Here we are 5 years later. Granted, this game was not designed exclusively for Switch. It was for everything, and they're porting it over. But you can very much see Unreal Engine at its max, chugging away on the Switch. It's pretty awful looking. Like, it looks void of life, very flat, very dead. You have like those matte grass textures with like the little spruces of like leaves sticking out of the top, which is just like the classic, this game looks good somewhere, but not here vibe.
It looks worse than a lot of the Unreal Engine like fan games that people made.
Yeah. It just looks rough as hell.
A lot of those games were missing like a sort of like design philosophy. They were missing like a design gloss. Like everything, it didn't look unified. It looked like a cartoon character was sitting in a real world, and that's exactly what this looks like.
It does.
I think what happened was they showed off Sonic Frontiers with this big open world or open zone, this big grassy field, and they thought that it was going to look awesome and people were going to go, wow, finally we got Sonic in a big Breath of the Wild world. And it came out and everyone was like, this looks weird as hell. And then they're like, oh, shoot, we got to show people the zones, I guess. And then that's why they showed the zones.
Yeah,
but the zones look cool. I mean, the zones look more like a regular Sonic game.
The zones look cool. Actually, a lot of people have said, and I agree, that with this trailer, I'm a little bit more excited for it now because we see the zones, which actually do look pretty fun. He just does not look like he fits in that overworld, and it just felt like if they just blasted the contrast like 100%, I think it would look more fitting.
It needs a
I don't
style.
know what
the style is
weird. The style doesn't mesh. I don't know what they're trying to do, but maybe it'll be fun and that won't matter.
And then who's that guy? Who's the guy at the end?
Oh, that's the Breath of the Wild Ganon that they decided to add, I'm sure.
Well, so Infinite was the big bad guy from Sonic, the last 3D Sonic game that was horrible. So I don't know. He kind of looks like Infinite. I don't know in what world it would make sense for them to use the bad guy from the worst Sonic game, Sonic Forces.
Who's that thing on the left?
That's Infinite, or what I think looks like Infinite, but it doesn't really look like Infinite.
I thought you were talking about this giant calamity mecha Ganon.
No, that's like the bosses in the game are going to be those mecha robot things.
Well, I'm not saying it's a pass. I'm not saying that it's the no. It just looks rough as hell. Hopefully, it's fun.
I'm a little worried about it.
We can blast through a few more things. I will say this weird Sims Disney game doesn't look bad. It's not for me, but it might be actually for me.
My brother described it as Animal Crossing with Disney characters.
Yeah, so interesting this happened today on this because I did a fan mail video recently and someone sent me, I guess, the last version of this game. It was a Disney game, and they said in the fan mail, I don't know what it's called. It's behind me somewhere. But they were like, this is essentially Disney Animal Crossing. And then I see this, which is called something different, but I'm guessing is built off the back of that. And yeah, I would agree. It looks like Disney Animal Crossing, kind of like Kingdom Hearts Animal Crossing. I'm not seeing anything in it that I'm like gagging to play, but it's an interesting concept that I might get Kim to play it, and then Kim can tell me if it's worth playing.
I think it looks pretty cool. I'm not really interested in Disney characters, but I think if you're a Disney person, Jackson will love this game.
I might actually. This could be a really fun game to stream because I could just fool around and see if it's good or not.
Right.
All right. Next.
Is this the
Live
Alive?
Live Alive, which. You are one of the people that think it should be called Live Alive, right?
1,000%, yeah.
I think I have noticed this online, and I think this is one of them really weird, bizarre things where like human brains interpret things really differently and hear things differently, and what sounds really good to someone sounds wrong to someone else. Live Alive makes no sense to me. Live Alive, it's like if you were to picture it on like a little string, it's like a roller coaster. It's like Live Alive. Live Alive is like it's two separate things.
But that's a sentence.
It is a sentence. But
Live
live
alive isn't a sentence.
It's so fun to say. It's so fun to say. It flows.
And that's why
But
that's
yes,
the
I
title.
get what you're saying.
Like you see this in a lot of Japanese video games. They'll just find English words and go, that sounds fun to say. And they'll just use it. And then we'll get it here in America and we're like, what was that? That doesn't...
Live alive. Live alive. Live alive. Yeah, live alive doesn't mean anything, but it's so fun. It's so fun to say.
The game looks really cool, though.
Looks amazing.
I love the new art style for it.
So this is a Square Enix game, must be, right?
Yes.
So obviously, the success of Octopath Traveler and this new 2D, 3D art style they've created, someone at some point looked at this Live Alive game, realized that it was kind of like Octopath with its storytelling, because you have multiple different characters in different time zones. I'm sure somehow it all comes together. And they were like, let's give it that 2D, 3D treatment. I'm definitely interested because I really liked Octopath, but the story was weak as heck. So if they found a game with a fantastic story to give that treatment to, I could see myself really liking it.
I'm also a guy who thought this was pronounced Doraemon, and apparently it's Doraemon, even though it's not spelt like that at all. I learned a lot of pronunciation in this. If only they had a Mario game in here, then I would learn how to say that.
I'm a guy who sees a word like what you just said and doesn't even try and figure it out. I'm like, I'm never going to say it. I will just accept it is what it is. I actually wanted to do a video on Story of Seasons recently because those games have this weird thing happening where they used to be really good and then someone got the rights to make games for them and they're making crappy mobile versions. Yeah. Or is that Harvest Moon?
So that's
I think it's Harvest Moon.
Harvest Moon got bought.
Right.
And then they started making crappy Harvest Moon games, but the people who originally made Harvest Moon started making, I think, the Story of Seasons game.
Yes. Okay. So I started playing Story of Seasons recently. And I liked it. I never ended up making the video, so seeing this, I'm definitely intrigued.
Wait, this is a Story of Seasons? I didn't even put the two together.
I think it's Doigimon, whatever you said, Story of Seasons. Digimon.
I didn't put that together. I thought this was just a random Doraemon game. Wow. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. This might be a good game.
Yeah, no, it definitely might be. For me, it's tough because Harvest Moon. God, what's it called? Stardew Valley is like this to the nth degree. It's like incredible. So it's this. Everything else feels like a step back, but it was fun. I did like it. All right, Minecraft, whatever this new thing is, don't
Legends,
really care.
We saw it at the Xbox thing. It's nothing new.
Yeah. It doesn't look
This
good.
is very new.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest. So, like, explain this to me. There's Dragon Quest, there's normal Dragon Quest, then there's Dragon Quest Builders, and then there's this, which looks like the middle of the two.
I can't explain that. I can't explain that Dragon Quest is obviously the main core, and I love it. I can't explain that Builders is like a fun Minecraft take on it, and it's amazing. I don't see where this fits into all of that. I don't know why they needed to do that, because you're right. It looks like Builders, but without the blocky art style and the ability to build. And even like these like hub menus and stuff, I'm pretty sure this was a mobile game. I think that's the explanation.
It looks like it's definitely built to work on mobile. Yeah.
I think this is a mobile game. Is it new or is it already on mobile and now it's on Switch?
I've never heard of this game before in my life, so I think it's brand new.
Should we Google that?
Okay.
Let's Google that.
What the hell's the name of it even? Dragon Quest
Treasures. It has to be something mobile. Honestly, I love Dragon Quest. It doesn't look super fun. They're using the character of Eric and his sister from Dragon Quest 11, and it doesn't even look that good. The colors are off, kind of desaturated.
I think it's brand new, a completely new spin-off from Dragon Quest series.
I mean, I'm a sucker for Dragon Quest, so I'll play it, but I gotta be honest, even as a big fan, I'm looking at this and I'm not interested. So I guess we'll see.
It's because we've got stuff already too similar to that.
I know.
All right, here's the montage now. Here's the big
sizzle reel. Let's talk through the sizzle reel. All right, No Man's Sky. You should play that with me on stream.
I'm interested to try it again, for sure.
Stream that with me because I'm excited for that.
We will do
3 Hopes. I just started over the weekend. fine. I like it. It's very cool.
There's a Plague's Tale, which we saw at the Xbox conference. This is a cloud version. I'm happy to get cloud versions if a game requires it. I'd rather them develop solely for the Switch, but the more games, the better.
I will say that Plague Tale 1 was one of the most fun, unique hidden gem games I've played, and the visuals were stunning, and the visuals for the new one look 10 times better, and there is no shot I'm playing that on Switch. I am playing that on my Series X.
And then there's this game that looks like Transistor, but it's turn-based. And then he hugs a dog at the end for some reason, and that's how the end is.
Yeah, you had a big issue with the hugging of the dog.
It just doesn't make any sense.
No, it came out of nowhere. And also, I don't know if that hugging of a dog animation is for this game or for who ported the Aperture game, because it bleeds into Aperture. Look.
I think this is supposed to be like a surprise when like the Aperture glitch is in.
I know, but it's like a white background fades away than Aperture. So is it the people... I know you probably know the answer, but when I was watching it, I was like, is that who ported this, or is that the maker of the last game? I couldn't tell.
No, that's an editor for Nintendo doing some artistic touches.
Okay. So Portal games, you mentioned it in your video. I think I did too. Incredible games. And yeah, the co-op in the second game is separate to the campaign in the main game. I've played both. I've played all of it. They're so much fun. It's weird. The game just looks like a gray, bland game, and the only colors come from the two portals. But there's something about that mechanic that is so inherently fun to mess around with.
And there's a lot of character to the game, especially the second one. I mean, the first one does too, but the second one, your character doesn't talk at all. But everything that's going on around you has so much life, even though you're in this like bland gray area. And you discover so much more of the area. And when you get little bits of color, you're like, oh my God, freedom. You know, it's really cool. And the games are only $20 for both.
Yeah.
So
it's amazing.
This is an amazing deal. I will say, though, they are currently each $2 on Steam.
Steam Deck it is. The voice acting is hilarious.
Yes.
And the sheer amount of puzzles they create, and also sometimes the amount of ways you can solve those is baffling. So yeah, really fun.
Right.
Steam and Valve used to make, whenever they do make a game, it's typically really innovative and really cool. This game flew under the radar, I feel like.
So I had a bit in my video about this, and then I deleted it. So this seems like one of those games
Harvestella
where you're doing like farming and like you're building your town or your area or whatever, and then there's also combat elements. So you build up your farm, and then you take it into you take all of the assets and resources and go into battle, and then you gain more assets and resources.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a Final Fantasy style of combat, like a modern Final Fantasy. I'll say that it reminds me of Cult of the Lamb, which I think might do that in a way that I would like more.
Okay. One thing that surprises me about this is I've seen games try and do this before.
Right.
But this one is actually gorgeous, and it looks like a fully fleshed out world. There's some really striking visuals. I hope that both the harvesting and the combat are individually very in-depth, because that's where I feel like a lot of these games go wrong, that both end up being fairly light. So neither complement each other in a way that I would like. But if both those mechanics are very in-depth and they work together and there's a fun story, I think this one flew under the radar. I mean, it looks amazing. It looks really fun. And it's this year. And then we are at the final thing.
This was the big, like, one more thing. Which, I mean, you know, it's a big deal, but I mean, it was pretty easy to read.
No, 100%. And it even got its own voice acted and animated little spot here. It wasn't just like, you know, showing a trailer of the game. It was made for the Direct, which I appreciated. You mentioned in your video that it felt kind of jarring, and it was kind of like...
Morgana is not animated well.
No.
Why is that? Is that like a thing, or is this just bad?
It's not a thing. I wouldn't say it's bad. I would say it's just kind of like, it's a throwaway announcement in a direct. I think they know that people are hyped for this, so they wanted to do something. I just don't think they went overboard with it. It is fairly on brand because you do have a lot of moments where you get like a fancy background. Usually that background is animated in the game and then characters are talking over it. So it feels Persona 5 adjacent. It just feels like they might have rushed it a little bit.
Okay.
But enough that I appreciate it. And this little ransom note that comes up is on brand and part of the game. So yeah, it's bad, but it's something, it's better than just getting a trailer. So yeah, I'm excited. I never played Royal.
It starts with Persona 5, and then they show that we're also getting 3 and 4. So what's the difference between Royal and regular Persona 5?
I was about to say, because I just realized you probably don't know the difference. Right. So I don't think Persona 3 did this, but Persona 4 came out originally on PlayStation 2. And the creator of the game, I guess, hit a point where he was like, I have to be done with this game. There's so much, and it needs to go out. But there was more that he had in his head that he was like, I could do this. There's so much more I wanted to do. So he made Golden for the Vita, which added a ton of content. I don't know all of it offhand, but I'm talking like whole extra characters that are weaved into the story from the start. So it completely changes the game, and then it added like 20 to 30 hours of new game at the end of it, with the new characters, which also includes new relationship building and new like jobs and all of that stuff. It's literally like so much extra content, it's indescribable. And some of the biggest changes, obviously, is if you play the base game, there will be whole ass characters not in your game that are in Golden. And the same thing with Persona 5, where he just had to put the game out at some point, but he's like, look, I'm not done. So a few years later, he releases Royal, which has mostly, the main thing, I think, is this new redheaded character who's not in the original game. So literally, like, the story changes. Maybe not like, the overarching points or the themes or exactly what happens at the end, but there's whole different beats throughout the game and so much new stuff to experience. So that's Royal, and I'm very, very, very excited. I never played Royal.
So I'm going to play this, but we've talked about this already. I might just get it on Steam.
That's fine. Honestly, I just want you to play it.
Right.
I kind of want you to love it. If you don't, I won't be upset.
I feel like I might be interested in playing it just for the story. I feel like I will suffer through some bad game mechanics if I feel like there's bad game mechanics. I might suffer through it just for the story if the story is compelling enough.
I will say that the story of 4, I personally feel like is more compelling. 4 Golden is my favorite RPG of all time, JRPG. I would love for you, if you don't like 5, to try 4. 4 is a lot more murder mystery, small town feeling, while 5 has that, but it's like a big show. It's like a big production this time. So definitely try both, but yeah, I'm very excited. They also got Teddy from the 4th game to do a little voiceover here to announce that the other ones are coming. I wanted to add, I think 3 and 4 are digital only, but 5 is getting a physical, from what I heard. So that's really cool, because obviously I'm a collector, and I'm hoping to get some big collection for it, but just to have it is great. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, the games are amazing. Great voice acting. Great stories, fun gameplay, and you'll waste upwards of 80 hours.
I'm not looking forward to that.
I know. Well, it gets to a point where it becomes how much time you want to put in at some point, because you'll have multiple endings. You'll have different endings depending on like who you chose to date or not date or whatever.
Give me one ending and I'm done. I'm putting the game down.
Then you'll get your ending that you get. In Golden, I put in 120 hours to get like the true ending, and I definitely thought it was worth it.
Then I'll YouTube the other endings.
That's fine. You do that, buddy. You do that. Yeah. That's that. That's the whole direct. Thoughts on everything?
So I think there was a lot to take away from it. We learned a lot. I personally wasn't blown away by any of the announcements. I'm happy that we're getting Persona 5 finally. I'm happy that we learned a little more about Sonic Frontiers. That was something I was interested in. Mario plus Rabbids, we knew we were getting anyway. We got a date finally for it, which I think is October 20th. So I know people are excited for that. So there you go. You got a date for it. I was a little blown away by Bomberman R2, but not for any good reasons.
No, yeah.
And Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is really cool looking, but we knew we were getting that very soon. So I will say that Live Alive has a demo that you can play.
Okay.
So you have something you can take away immediately right now.
Yeah, I guess my summary is very similar. I liked the Direct. I liked that a lot of these things got in the public eye for people so they can enjoy it too. But yeah, there wasn't really anything other than Monkey Island that was like, holy crap, this is happening.
Monkey Island, yeah.
Yeah, Monkey Island was definitely my favorite. Because like I knew about Persona. Otherwise, Persona would have been my favorite. Maybe. And actually, probably not. I have a really big stiffy for Monkey Island. No, I agree. It was just a partner showcase. I mean, it was good for what it was. It wasn't the E3, I think, or the E3 time direct I think we needed. I'm glad they showed Monster Hunter because people need to buy that. Nier Automata, I'm very excited to play on the go. And a little secret I want to say, for as much as I keep talking about it, I didn't finish that game. I only played like 20, 30 hours of it, and I kind of forgot to finish it. I know. So I'm excited to dive back in. And Persona 5, I haven't played Royal, so I've been holding out to play Royal until it came to Switch, and I might buy it on Steam. I will buy it on Switch if it just looks and plays fine. If it looks and plays fine, we don't have those jaggedy edges, that lower resolution, that annoying to look at thing when I blow it up on my TV, or even if it just looks perfect portably on the OLED, I'll buy it there, no problem. But if I see even a little bit of like anti-aliasing issues, I'm just going to get it on Steam for my Steam Deck. I'm sorry. Just at that point, it's been 6 years. I'm over it. Monkey Island, I'm very excited for. Mario and Rabbids, I'm very excited for. But again, I mean, I think they're going to do a lot to change what the first game did, but we don't need to see more of it. You either want to play it or
Rabbids,
you don't.
I got to do shit. It's going to be the same game.
I disagree. I think they're really going to try.
We'll find out.
We'll see. Freaking
Ubisoft.
Mario and Rabbids was sick and its own special little thing that they worked really hard on, and the quality was obviously there.
I'll be honest,
I'm saying.
I didn't like that they were making the game in the first place because I thought it was way too out of the realm of Mario to just give him a gun. But then I played it and I was like, I kind of understand it, but it's definitely still not my type of game. So I understand why people like that game.
A little more excited for Frontiers, and No Man's Sky is looking pretty sick. I mean, at this point, we're just repeating ourselves. Right. I think for a partner showcase, as I said in my video, it was really great. I would give it maybe a low A tier just for a partner showcase. For a direct we need right now, obviously wasn't even close. We need a full direct. We need a no stuff, but we got what we got. And I like it.
There's a lot of question marks for what Nintendo is working on right now. We started
so
the
many
year thinking there was so much stuff coming out this year, and I guess there is, but like some stuff got moved. So I don't know.
It also is like the last direct we got that I didn't like, and I said that I didn't like it. I got like castrated and tied to the back of a truck and dragged through the streets. Because I said it was average. I'd like to say if you go back and watch that now, most of that has come out, and like who cares? Everyone was like, but Strikers and Nintendo Switch Sports.
Oh, Strikers! We were so stoked for Strikers.
And at the time, I said, this game's going to come out. It's going to have no content like every other sports game, and you're going to forget about it.
I was excited for Strikers, and then it came out, and I was immediately not excited anymore.
Everyone was castrating me for not being excited for that direct because Strikers, and I knew the writing was on the wall. I was like, if they show me a reason to be excited for it, I will. But it's going to be Mario Golf and Tennis 2.0. Like I just knew it. Mm-hmm. So this year's been rough for Nintendo. Been rough for announcements, been rough for directs. There are some cool things. I'm excited for Xenoblade fans. Splatoon 3 I'm actually super hyped for, but it's not the strongest year, and there's a lot of questions.
Right. Especially now that they moved Breath of the Wild too. Mm-hmm. That's that. I think it's good. It was pretty good. I'm going to pick up Persona when it comes out. That's later in the year, though. We got a while for that.
October, yeah.
And
way too long.
I'm excited to see what else Nintendo has going on.
I think they released Persona 5 in October, Royal in October, and then this in October. They just love October.
October. I think this holiday is going to be huge. There's going to be a lot of stuff.
I think. Yeah. All right, cool. This is going on way too long. Thank you guys for watching this emergency episode of the show. Oh, Are we doing a bonus?
I assumed we were going to do a bonus.
Oh, my God. No!
I was prepared for a bonus.
Okay, whatever. All right, we're doing a bonus.
We got to run then. We're doing a bonus.
We got to run. Patreon
for
for the bonus. Like, comment, subscribe, rate us, drop a comment if you're watching on iTunes, a review, all of that crap, whatever. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching the show.
I love you.